Standing in middle of crossroads, he starts to weigh his options. A Libra always takes time out.
What's up, everybody? Nick Gorley with Gorley Records here. Got a new single out, Leaders Rise, Kingdoms Fall by Scribe of Joseph, that I helped produce. This one's super awesome. I put together an instrumental track for them and sent it over. Had no idea what I was going to get back, and boy oh boy was I surprised. And this is awesome, so I'm just going to jump right into it and walk you through this track. So just to give you an idea of what this builds into, I'm just going to play the chorus for you guys, just so you get an idea of how the track plays.
Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, sheep are all watching. People fall constant, we assault artists. Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, we evolve conscious. Evil stop talking when them heroes start charging.
So that's the chorus. You get an idea of what's in there, what kind of vibe we're going with. Got some sax in there, got some lo-fi drums, keys, guitar, bass, a little bit of everything. So initially, when I started this track, I started with just some keys. I started with a little melody. Just a little melody, and that kind of plays throughout the whole thing, and everything just sort of layers in and off of that. There's one section where it changes up a little bit. We'll get into that. So once I had the melody, the first thing I wanted to do was add in some bass. So I had an actual bass that I played along to it here. So this is the bass added in. Very simple bass line. Nothing crazy. And that's kind of the bass line. That's the bass line through the entire track. So just a really simple bass line, no need to overdo it. I really didn't want anything to be too crazy on this track. When I was thinking about intros, I kind of just wanted everything to just sort of just go right into it. I didn't really want to do any kind of crazy build-up or anything like that. So for the drums, I found this really cool kit in Arcade by Output, and it's got this really cool drum roll in it. So I really like that. I thought that was a really cool drop into the song, just kind of cut right to the chase. Yeah, not do anything, no need to mess around too much. And then once the drum roll comes in, it just goes into a drum pattern that's also created with this same kit here on Arcade. There's really cool drum kits on this app, by the way. It's got really cool, awesome samples. It's got kind of a lo-fi sound to it. So here's like a sample of like the drums I was playing. So it's got that kick at the beginning, and then it just repeats on that hi-hat. And then there's also a snare sample there. So I just kind of cycle between the kick, the hi-hat, and the snare on there. So yeah, so that's that. And so that just layers on top of those two. So here's all that together. It just goes right into it, you know? Nothing too crazy. Real simple, nice drum roll intro. And so the only other layer I added in kind of into the instruments is just a guitar. It's just a really simple, just sort of chug and riff, nothing crazy. Here's a guitar by itself. So yeah, nothing, just nice little easy rhythm, just kind of carrying it along. Nothing's complicated on this. I did not want anything on this track to be complicated. I find if you overcomplicate things too much, it crowds it for the vocalist to come in. So here's that drop of the guitar. So those are the core instrumentals on the track, and then, you know, I don't want to send it over just kind of dry like that. I wanted to get a little bit of some kind of, you know, vocal hint on there somehow. So I actually recorded me singing, but I used a couple of like pitch shifters and stuff. We soloed just the vocals here. So yeah, again, just real simple sort of hum going over that. So on this vocal section, it's me singing, but I actually did a pitch shift up just to get a different sound. So here it is without the pitch shift. And here it is with the pitch shift. And then obviously added some reverbs and some atmosphere to that. And yeah, so that's all the instruments, that's all I sent over to them was just was that rhythm. You know, it was arranged. It has like a breakdown section. We'll get into that shortly. But just kind of popped that off to them, and yeah, what I got back was fun. So this first verse comes in by Najee Omari. It just kind of goes right into it since the instruments all just kind of drop in. So does lyrics.
Standing in middle of crossroads, he starts to weigh his options. A Libra always takes time, hours plotting out the proper moves. I don't fall for the distractions cause I'm not amused.
Awesome.
Even on the playground, I was not to follow rules. Wow. Or laws for that matter, the mirrors just shattered, the soldiers are battered.
So the next section we move into is the first chorus, and this is where Tyranus Kong also comes in, and we also have BSICK coming in here on some sax, so we were able to get some sweet saxophone samples from BSICK. So here's some of the sax we got. Sax face. Ooh. I love me a good sax. You can sax me up any day. So the fact that we were able to get saxophone samples, somebody actually playing a saxophone is super awesome. So here's the chorus drop.
Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, sheep are raw watching. People fall constant, we assault artists. Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, we evolve conscious. People stop talking when the heroes start charging.
Love that sax. And after that we come to a verse, and this is where Scribe of Joseph comes in with his poetic amazingness. You need to go just follow all of Scribe of Joseph's channels. This dude is going to be amazing, and you'll be glad that you got in on the bottom floor. You can see you were the first ones that became a big Scribe of Joseph fan, because this guy, homie's going places. So within Scribe of Joseph's verse, you're going to see we have a breakdown up here where I just kind of pull stuff out. The drums and the guitar drop out. There's none of that vocal sort of humming either. The sax is gone. It's just Scribe doing his thing over some keys and bass with the drum roll going into that. So I'm just going to play this breakdown section just so you can kind of hear the breakdown. And I'll back it up a little so you can hear it, the lead into it.
Knew it to be this matrix like a pool. I no longer wish to dive deep into. He look the devil in his blind eyes and ask who the real Jew is.
Let those
you must be hot into
words be
the people that
great.
you viewed as dirt. Need 48 curse and a motherfucking bafflement. More rituals that I'm baffling. Jacking Najee through the microphone like a javelin. Word is meditation that we be mastering. Cutting through the evil we be clashing with. Our name in big lights like the pastor is.
And everything just comes back. Saxophone.
Our third eyes aligned. The Lord
vocals.
shine came flashing in. Spirit of the scribe came crashing in. Imagine them kings and queens with compassion. Kicking back, relaxing.
I love Joseph's writing. He is just an amazing writer. I just am always amazed at the things he sends me. And he just pumps things out. He just like released a mixtape, he called it. Or an EP, or, you know, I think he called it mixtape EP. He's like, hey, EP's dropping. And I'm like, oh, sick. And then he released it, and it's like 18 songs. I'm like, dude, this is a whole album. Like, what are you talking about, EP? Like, if this is an EP, what the heck is a whole album? Like, 40 songs? Like, really sets the bar high for himself. But dude just writes and just is always pumping out lyrics, and they're just awesome. They're super deep, very poetic, never shallow. It's super unique. I've never really heard anything like it, and that's why I love working with him. He's just a very unique talent. After Joseph's verse, you got that last chorus. You know, the saxophone's just going off. Everything's just hammering away. And I'm just gonna highlight some of the sax because I just need to just call out BSICK here because this is sick. Just gotta love it.
Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, sheep are all watchers. People fall constant, we assault artists. Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, we evolve conscious. Evil stop talking when the heroes start charging. I said leaders rise, kingdoms fall, sheep are all watching. People fall constant, we can solve all this. Leaders rise, kingdoms fall, we evolve conscious. Evil stop talking when the heroes start charging. When the heroes start charging.
And then we come to the outro where it just leads out with just the keys and the bass are all that's left. And then you got a little ad-lib there at the end. So I'll show you a little what's coming out at the end.
Evil stop talking when the heroes start charging. When the heroes start charging.
Just throw that little hint at the end, just when the heroes start charging.
When the heroes start charging.
Oh, Just a great touch. Awesome touch. So yeah, that was Leaders Rise, Kingdoms Fall by Scribe of Joseph. Super deep lyrics. Hope you guys like this song. I'll have the links below to where you can stream it, listen to it, all that kind of fun jazz. I mean, the biggest thing you can do to support this channel is just listen to the music that I create and, of course, subscribe. This is just one of the examples of how I want Gorley Records to be a big collaborative project. And if you want to collaborate together or anything, please just reach out, whether you're an instrumentalist, vocalist, you know, producer, whatever. Let's just figure out ways we can work together and kind of grow together. I'm down to work with anybody. So let's do this thing, and y'all have a wonderful evening, or day, or morning, or whenever you're watching this. I don't know. Finger guns.